Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome to an all new episode of Changing the Game with G-Lew and the beautiful Deandra Chanel. We got a special show tonight, so kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Yeah. And just like that, we are back. It's the G-Lew show. Deandra Chanel and G-Lew. We are changing the game. What's up, Deandra? Okay. Yes.
Thing that I love. So I am excited for the show, actually. Can you hear me good?
Yes, me too. Yeah, I can. You were going in and out, unless it was me, but I hear you good now.
It was both of us, actually.
Yes, like
The system is off today.
Okay, something's off. So I don't know,
we always make it through.
All right, we're good. What's up, everyone in the chat? Thank you for joining us tonight. Like Deandra said, we got a good show tonight. A special guest, this guy, man. You know, I follow him. I see him doing this thing. You know, so he's gonna come on tonight and talk about his story. So I'll let Deandra go ahead and tell you who, kick it off and bring him in.
So this guest I absolutely love because he is in the realm that I'm in, but not many people know that. They know him as a personality, but they don't know what he actually does and how he became the Weso. So without further ado, let's introduce Mr. Theo Weso to Changing the Game.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
The face behind the mask.
Yeah, the man. Not that many people get to see this. That's the funny part. But yeah, I'm doing good. How about everybody doing right now?
Good.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course. You know. All right. So yeah, you know, I haven't done any interviews. It's been about like maybe 2 years since I've actually done an interview. I hardly ever do any interviews. I'm more behind the scenes. Not that many people know who this guy is. They always know the guy, you know, they always know the mask, Theo Weso, you know?
Well, I'm glad that you chose us to do your first interview in 2 years. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, of course, you know? Want to step out of my little realm, you know, my little circle, you know, and just try to start doing something.
Go ahead, Deandra.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
yeah, so you know,
you are. Everybody knows you as a personality. You are Theo Weso, but they don't know who Theo Weso is and what he actually does. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, okay. First of all, you know, the character Theo Weso, or the actual Calaca, came from my cousin. You know, he does cosplay, so he does all these masks. He'll do characters and everything else, and he'll go to these Comic Cons, display the little costumes that he makes, the masks that he makes. So he's done like stuff from, you know, from Star Wars going down to like Marvel and everything, and bringing them together and going to these events. So one time he just wanted to do something different and create a little thing for the culture, which was these calacas, which is kind of like the Day of the Dead type of deal and everything. So when he did these characters, you know, people did like him, but he didn't know what to do with it. So one day he just told me, hey, come down to a video shoot or photo shoot and take some pictures. You use this character. We still didn't have a name to it. And he used the other one, which is the one with the kind of like the papador, but with the bandana and everything. So we took those out, took some pictures, and at that point, you know, I was like, hey, you know what? Have you ever thought about taking this out, you know, to the car shows, to events, concerts, and everything? So once he did, you know, he was thinking about it and say, you know what? Let me talk to somebody, see if we can go on stage and present these characters and, you know, do something different with these. So the first person I went with to actually display this was with Little Rob. And Little Rob, you know, saw the characters, loved them, and said, yeah, come on stage with us and everything. So it was my cousin, his girlfriend, which was at that time, the Chola girl, and then me, my character. Like I said, we still didn't have a name for it or anything like that, but we were just trying to figure out what we're gonna do with this. So it wasn't bad at all. So after that show, me and my cousin were talking, hey, let's start doing something. Let's create characters for these people and everything else and put them out there and see what happens and everything. So when we did that, we were trying to figure out my name. He came up with the name Weso. I'm like, all right, sounds good and shit. Weso meaning bone. But all these car communities, the concerts and everything, there's kids there. So we didn't want to say, hey, you know what, can I take a picture with Bone? Oh, this is my Bone and whatever. Or Weso in Spanish, it sounds a little bit more, a little more crude and everything. So we're trying to figure it out. So we went with this one. We're gonna do a show with this one person. Her name is Baby West Coast. Carissa. She's a little actress, singer, pop locker, and everything. Well, we're gonna do a show with her, and we're trying to figure out, hey, how are you gonna present me? Introduce me. They came up with, hey, you know what? Why not call you Theo? Because right there, they always call me Theo no matter what. This is my Theo, this is my uncle. Hey, why not Theo Weso? And from that point on, it's like, okay, you know what? She introduced me as Theo Weso on stage, danced, and then after that point, trying to figure out like, hey, what are we gonna do with this character now? Who is he? Hey, why not make him into the uncle that everybody loves to have at the barbecues, at the events, at the parties, or whatever it is, and just bring that good energy, and always see me dancing around, just getting everybody hyped up, getting them up and dancing and everything else. So that's how it kind of went down and everything, and then from this point on, every show that I go to, I'm there just take pictures to, just to get out that good vibe, get everybody, happy, get a smile, get, just hype up the whole crowd.
How do you think that character took on a life of its own? Because your character is extremely popular.
Well, you know what? The funny thing is that I'm an introvert, I don't like going out. I hate going out. I'm always at home. I work, I do everything else and all that, but when I get out there, I become a whole nother character. Because the truth of the matter is a lot of people don't put this character of me with Theo Weso. So when I go out, nobody really knows it's me. Because I walk around, I'll say hi to everybody, hey, what's up and everything else. I don't tell them, hey, this is Theo Weso, whatever it is and all that stuff, unless I really know the person and start getting to know them, But once I get out there, once I put on that mask and everything else, it's like a whole nother persona, like me back in my 20s, where I, get to, take maybe a couple of shots and then, get up there and start dancing and everything else, I try to get people, hey, come on, get dance over here. You want a picture? You want this? See the little kids, start dancing with the little kids and what have you, and just trying to show a good time to everybody, and ever since then, it just got a little bit better. Everybody started loving Theo Weso. So we just went with it and just keep on doing it, Everywhere I go, it's just I just try to bring that good energy out there,
Yeah. Would you consider yourself like the Rey Mysterio of the lowrider culture?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, because nobody knows who he was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like that, because everywhere I go, it's like, any event that I do, if it's with the Baby Bashes, Cypress Hills, Bone Thugs. Not that many people get to meet these artists, So from what they were telling me, I'm the closest that they have to like an artist, an influencer, whatever it is, that people get to see, So once I get out there, they go down there and say, hey, let's take a picture with this guy, let's take a picture with this guy, and kind of go from there, So it's kind of good having that little fame, I guess you kind of say, where people can actually identify you, like, oh man, that's Theo Weso. Hey, that's Theo Weso. I hear my name getting called out a lot, but because the mask, I get tunnel vision. I can't see my peripherals. I can't see from left to right. I can only see straight ahead. So when they call my name, I'm turning it around. Sometimes I can't even turn around. I just walk forward and shit, and just wait for somebody to tap me on the shoulder. Hey, can you take a picture with me? Can you take a picture with me? And so on and so on.
How? That was the question I was going to ask you. How difficult is it to take on this character? Because you do this almost every week, right?
Almost every weekend, yeah. This past weekend I did 5 shows. So I did 3 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday.
So I can imagine, number one, it's summer.
That what?
It's summertime right now.
Oh yeah.
So I can imagine the amount. Like, how do you keep yourself from like passing out or getting overly hot in your costume?
Well, everybody, that's a question I get from everybody. Oh, you must be hot. You must be hot. You must be hot. Well, a few years, well, what was it, like maybe 9 years ago, I was a firefighter. I was a firefighter for about 4 years. So, having your Nomexes, your shroud, your jacket, and everything else, so you won't get burnt. They taught you how to stay hydrated, how to keep cool, and everything else. Because we be in like 130-degree, environment over there. Fighting fires and everything else. So I took those same stuff that they taught me and used it for the Theo Weso thing. Keep cotton. I keep covered, So I have a thermal on, I have a tank top on, I have a white cotton shirt, and then whatever Pendleton I have, and the same thing with the pants. Well, the pants I usually just wear the pants. Sometimes I'll wear like leggings or those little things and everything. So I try to have that on there. But that right there will actually soak in the sweat, and that sweat kind of gets cool, so it keeps me cool inside. And then of course, just drinking water. You add a little salt in it, just like a little pinch of salt. It keeps you hydrated throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
just
that's
constantly drinking water.
I'm gonna kick it over to my co-host so he can ask you a few things. I'm sure he has some questions for you.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to ask you, like you said earlier, like when you like now you're doing the interview, no one will know. They don't recognize the face. Probably they know
Yeah.
the
The
right.
mask.
You like it seems like that's a pretty good thing though, because you could jump in and out of character without having to. Because some people, even when they're probably maybe a character or actor or a rapper, when they're like you said on their alone time or with the family, they're different. They're not in that character, but they have to stay in that mode pretty much because people approach them and do all this. So for you to
Yeah,
have
exactly.
that's pretty good, right? That's pretty cool, actually.
Oh, I love it. I'm the guy behind the scenes. I've been doing this. I've been in the music industry for about almost 20 years now. So I started off like at Kiss FM, doing stuff for them, the Wango Tango events, and then
Right.
just pushing on, doing artwork for a bunch of people in the industry. So a lot of those people, only like the main guys, like from Baby Bashes, the Lazy Bones, Be Real, they know my face, but nobody else on the outside does. So
Right.
nobody on the outside. If I go somewhere, if I go to an event, you'll see me walk around without the mask, and I'm fine. Nobody's bothering me. Nobody's hitting me up except the people that I actually work with, or I've known for quite a while now. But the
Right.
fans that do like Theo Weso, they don't know who I am. So I get to walk around and everything else and all that stuff, without being bothered. I can get me something to drink, something to eat, and just chill for a little bit, look at the concert. But once I put on that mask, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, on the flip side of that though, when you do have the mask and say you want to go out and mingle or walk through the crowd or do autographs or whatever, what I mean, photos, do you
Uh-huh.
at the same time do you enjoy that though a little bit when you can be that star for a minute and everyone, do you like that part sometimes?
No, I love it. I love the attention that the character brings.
Right.
Because I'm trying to build a brand to it. I'm trying to build them into somebody that people can enjoy. So when I do see that somebody does want to have a picture, yeah, there you go. Yeah, come on, take a picture with me or do this. Hey, follow me, send me the picture. I got so many pictures I still haven't posted, videos I haven't posted. That it's from I've been doing the Theo Weso now for about 3 years now, or going on 3 years in August. So I have tons. I just was going through the pictures that I gotta go post up. I think it's about I think it was 800 pictures just from this year
Wow.
alone, and then the videos was about 3,000 videos from just this year. And I still
Wow.
haven't posted up stuff from when I first started and last year and so on and so on. You know, but I
Wow.
love it. I love the attention. I just wish I can have like a little bit more time to actually put everything together and do a little collage of all the stuff that I've done.
Right. What have you learned from being this character as the character has grown and you see like how popular and everyone loves it? What have you learned from that? Do you learn like different maybe routines or stuff you do that makes you better even though you're just doing what you do? But have you learned in time to do things differently and like how has the character grown?
You know what? Somebody had taught me, how to act with the people and so on. It was Baby Bash. Baby Bash, one of the guys that he's humble. He's out there, he's kind to everybody, takes pictures with everybody, never discriminates with anybody. So kind of learning from that, is like once I put on the mask, I go out there and I try to talk to everybody. I look at everybody. I don't brush anybody off. But the only thing is, like with me, the one thing I have to do is I always have to have somebody with me to actually
Right.
direct me or stop me when somebody's calling me, because sometimes I can't hear anybody because it kind of gets muffled in there. Even when I speak, it sounds muffled because I have the mask, and then on top of that, I have the full mask on too. That's the only thing that I have learned, that I need somebody with me at all times, just to kind of tell me, hey, this person wants to talk with you, or this person wants a picture, or this person wants this and this and this. But other than that, it's like, what? It's just always doing the same thing over and over again, making sure that everybody appreciates that I'm there, and just sees that, what, they can get a picture with me, they got to smile for me, or whatever it is. If I have some merch at that moment, like some stickers, I'll hand out the stickers and all that stuff.
Right. What is I know you mentioned a lot of people you've worked with over the years, or done shows with, or perform. Do you perform with some artists more regularly, or does it kind of just happen? And if so, who are some of the best people you like to work with, or that you have the most fun with, or whatever?
I think everybody. I have fun with everybody, because it's always the same. I don't really do anything. It's like, he's the Weso is the uncle that boogies. I don't dance, I boogie. So it's just the same steps over and over again. So they always tell me, hey, why not pop lock? Why not do all this stuff? So I'm like, you know what? I might start pop locking or whatever it is. I have the little homie Nico Motions that I'm telling, hey, you know what?
He's hard.
Have them send me some videos, some of the tutorials, so I can start, pop locking and everything else. But for the boogieing and everything else, I perform a lot with Lighter Shade of Brown. I'll perform a lot with I used to perform a lot with Kid Frost. Who else have I done? I mean, there's quite a few people, you know what I mean? There's so many people, but I always get the same vibe from them, you know what I mean? The last person I just performed with Lighter Shade of Brown, which was, I think, like 2 weeks ago. And, I love when I go on stage with them. They shout me out and everything else. And it gets me more, motivated to just start dancing more, pointing to people, getting the crowd hyped up and everything. But I love performing with almost everybody that allows me to perform with them.
That's right. And I got one more thing, a question from the homie Big D said, what does the costume mean to Theo? And does it represent the culture, or is it just a cool costume?
Okay, well, it started off as, just showing people that, the culture, the way we dress, the Pendletons, the Ben Davis, the Cortezes, it's not threatening to people or anything. It's our lifestyle. It's the way we grew up, Right. I grew up in the, Wilmington, grew up here in Carson and everything else. And that's how we used to dress, from our Charlie Browns, from Ben Davis, Dickies, or whatever it was, and all that stuff, But all we ever wanted to do was just have fun, show people, hey, you know what? We're not about, violence. We're not about anything. We're trying to be united, trying to have fun out there. So that's what I try to show everybody. They'll see me, and, there's certain areas that I go to where they do see the character, you know what I mean? But when I take off the mask, they see me with the whole, my outfit on, which is the Pendleton, they look at me kind of weird and everything else, but I try to show them, hey, how's it going? I try to talk to them, let them know, hey, you know what? This is a lifestyle, this is a culture, you know what I mean? That you shouldn't be looking at me at a certain way. That I'm not going to rob anything from you. I'm not going to steal anything. I'm not going to hit you or anything like that, Try to show everybody that what we do is just something. For me, it's always been something amazing, something beautiful that I wish that people could see more of, with the car culture, with the Day of the Dead, with, the way we just hang out at barbecues back in the day, we're trying to bring all that back.
Dope. Hey, one more thing, since you mentioned the culture, the dress and all that, right, which I agree with, but do you think now, like you mentioned, now it's not a threat? Do you like where it's come to now? Like you said, it's more of a cultural thing, and the youngsters adapted, and you could dress like that with it being just more so a culture, opposed to somebody looking at you like you banging. Because like you said, we come up in those days, and if you dress like that, you will automatically, singled out like that. But now it's become more of a cultural thing where, you could wear it like, you know what I mean? Be who you are, but it don't have to be about that,
Yeah, I mean, there's like a few youngsters, that I've seen and everything that they'll dress straight up, gangsterhood or whatever it is we want to call it and everything, but a lot of the times, they're not really representing what the culture is. They just try to act hard with it and everything else. Oh, check me out and everything else. They try to, I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it, you know what I mean? But it's like I said, every time I go out there, I try to show people, hey, you know what? This is how we dress. Keep clean, respect yourself. You know what I mean? Don't go doing, the stupid stuff that people are doing nowadays and everything else. Back then we used to respect ourselves, You just walk with your head up high, and just don't, well, just be respectful for everybody.
You said it right there. Respect. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
That'll take you a long way. Yep. Go ahead, Deandra.
So I want to talk about your actual career. So a lot of people don't know, like, this is obviously Theo Weso is a character that you do for fun that, just kind of brings people to life, but you have an actual career in the industry.
Yeah, I do. I'm a graphic designer. So I've been doing artwork my whole life. I've been from back in the day. I worked with I guess you can kind of say with a few Sony Studio stuff and everything, from Nickelodeon, from The Simpsons, and what have you. I've done stuff with like I said, Wango Tango, which was Kiss FM. I did all their artwork for their concerts. Even when they had artists come into the studio, I do a little artwork for them and everything, and give to them as a plaque, as a gift. But I do artwork. I do graphic design, which I've worked with tons of people, from promotional stuff, from t-shirt designs and everything else. So the person I'm working with right now is Danny Trejo. If you go onto his page, you'll see a few of my designs on his t-shirts that I'll do with him. I've done stuff with Baby Bash. Baby Bash is actually the first person I've actually worked with doing his CD covers, his promotional stuff, his logos, whatever it was that he needed. I had him right in the beginning of when he started off in when was it, 2007, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of went from there. But nowadays I'm working with, I've done stuff for Lazy Bone. I've done stuff with Corrupt. I've done stuff with I mean the list goes on.
Are you freelance, or do you work up under a specific company? Like, is this your own company? Do you just?
Yeah, it's my own company. Yeah, it's my own company called Micro Art Designs. So anything you see under Micro Art Designs is mine, or I guess the name that I just put on there because everybody would always say when I was young I was very articulate. So it kind of went in with hey, why not put articulate? But that name kind of stuck. So everybody calls me Articulate, which it wasn't supposed to be like that, But my name that everybody knows me as is Micro. So anything that I've done, it's I've been a freelancer for I think it's about now 5 years now. So I've been doing my own thing for 5 years. I've done stuff before where I used to work for a company where we did all the promotional items for The Weeknd, for Logic, for Danny Trejo, for Disturbed, Michael Jackson, Tupac, all their promotional stuff that they have at concerts or anything like that. We used to do all their designs for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the reason why I wanted him on this.
Wow.
I wanted people to get to know him.
The resume is crazy, man.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, well, this is one of the hats that I did for The Weeknd back in the day, back in 2018. So it's like there's a bunch of them. I have stuff that I did for what's the name, for Justin Bieber, the Peach song. We did his hat too. I did design the logo for that one, and a bunch of other stuff too. There's a bunch of other little things that I've worked on. But yeah, it's been a long career for me. I've been doing this for close to 25 years, being in the graphic design industry.
Wow.
It takes a special talent to be able to hit that caliber of a behind the scene person, regardless of what industry it is in. How are you able to reach that caliber of success in your career? I mean, 25 years is spectacular. But what would you recommend to someone who's trying to get their foot in the door and reach that caliber of success? Because there's so many. Graphic designing can semi be saturated, especially now. with all of the, the people making T-shirts and things like that now. Like everybody's starting their own businesses and they're
Oh
starting
yeah.
to, you know, technically be graphic designers because they're coming up with their own logos and pressing them on T-shirts. How do you reach this caliber?
Well, for me, it always started off like if I want to work with somebody, I do a design for them. Try to meet up with them. Back in the day when I first met up with Baby Bash, I did an art piece for him, and this is back in MySpace days. So MySpace was a lot easier to reach all these artists and everything else. So I did a few of them for it was well, it was quite a few artists. So, but Baby Bash is the one that responded back to me saying, "Hey, I love that artwork. How can how can I get it? How can I use it?" So it's yours. The first one, what I always do, the first art piece that I do for anybody is free. So that way they can see what I can do and see if it actually moves in their merch, whatever it is. So if people like the design that I just created for them, then you know what, they come back for more and they come back for more. But that's what I always do. The first one's always free. You go up to them, hey, I did this design for you. Hey, check this out, blah blah blah, and everything. And after that, if they want more, they start coming back. They start coming back more with me. But it's also good for my resume because I get to post that up saying I just did the design for Baby Bash. I did a design for this person, this person, this person, and kind of go
Right.
from there. But the one thing is that you got to be consistent with it. You can't just say, "Hey, this person didn't like it," and you kind of quit. It's like when COVID hit. I kind of, I kind of saw that the people were getting online more. People were checking out their stuff more and everything else. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? I had so many designs I was working with, trying to show people. At that point, I'm like, you know what? Bam! I started sending them everything. I started tagging them on the stories, on the posts, and everything else. And all these artists were actually looking at my stuff, and they were liking it. Hey, how can we get with it? Can I use it? Can I do this? Can I do that? And so on and so on. So at one point, Shaquille O'Neal saw my artwork that I did for him, and he hit me up and said, "Hey, I like that. Can I get that from you?" I'm like, of course. So he invited me to the TNT opener. I think it was at the where was it at the Staples Center. It was at the Staples Center. Yeah, everybody was there, so he invited me down. I had the art piece for him right there. He had I think he autographed like 3 of them for me. He had Snoop Dogg autograph some stuff for me, Charles Barkley, and so on and so on. But you really have to be consistent and keep on pushing. Tag everybody on what you want to do. If you want to work with somebody, all you got to do is tag them, constantly tag them. And then from one point, they're gonna see it and then respond, "Hey, I like it. Let's work," and so on and so on. So that's why I used to tell everybody, just don't quit. Just keep on pushing, and you'll get these people.
Yeah.
And believe me, everybody, they're normal people. Just because they have fame with them, but it doesn't mean that they're not gonna like what you do. And if they like your vibe, they like your style. Oh man, believe me, they're gonna start collabing with you.
Yep.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope, bro.
So, are you inspired by were there any actual artists, graphic artists, regular artists that you looked up to prior or in the beginning of your career?
Oh yeah, it's like there's 2 artists that I really like, and I've got to meet them. I got to like pick their brain a little bit. It's Chris Sanders. He's the guy that actually designed the characters for Lilo and Stitch. So I love that style of artwork. I love the way he drew his females, and then he has some other artwork that he does when he does his solo stuff, which is females that he does. Oh my, it's amazing. And then there's another character too, an artist. I mean, Dean Eagle. He's actually the guy that inspired me to start drawing more than anything. Was he does the illustrations for Playboy, the little cartoons inside that are those little sexy little girls on there, and then the guys and all that stuff. Well, this is the artist that actually drew those art pieces for Playboy magazine. I got to meet him, got to pick his brain as well, and everything else. But them too, I mean, they've been doing this for years, ever since the '60s. And then Chris Sanders, they've been doing it for quite a while too. So seeing how their career is, and the guy Dean Eagle, the one that does the Playboy illustrations, He's been doing this forever and still going out to conventions, signing autographs, and selling out on his stuff too. And I'm like, man, this is where I want to be. I want somebody to know my characters or know something, which is hopefully soon you'll be seeing a Theo Weso cartoon graphic comic, comic strip coming out and shit, kind of like what they used to do back in the day.
Wow, that's dope. Theo, let me ask you, being that you've been in the industry and been doing different things, but overall you said 20 plus years, what do you think about the industry today opposed to 20 years ago? Like what, things have changed a lot, like either good or bad. I don't know. What's your take on how the industry has changed over the years?
Well, nowadays it's like Deandra said, everybody's a graphic designer now. Everybody designs, everybody does all this stuff and everything else, and it's like, you know what, AI is taking over the game. I wish I had AI back in the day. It was a lot easier, but now I kind of use AI to help me out with some designs that sometimes they're stuck in my head, and I'm like, man, I need something done. I need this, I need this, I need this, and I'm like, and I'll type it into the AI program and everything else. I say, okay, I want a skull head with a fedora, sitting on a throne, doing this, with the car in the back with smoke. They'll come up with some stuff, not exactly what I wanted, but it's like, you know what, I can work with this and kind of work with that and everything and build something that I want to do.
So AI, hold on. Let me get this right, because I've been hearing about this AI. I've just never really tapped in all the way. I see a lot of stuff though. I've been seeing a lot of stuff that's been tripping me out. But you're saying it actually does. You could type something in and it'll give you some things, just like Alexa's do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But in an image form, it'll create an image for you. The only thing is that a lot of people, is like she was saying, that everybody's a graphic designer, but not everybody has that eye for art. Because I see a lot of people, they'll create, these little, they look amazing. Okay, like a lot of the artwork that people have been putting out there, it looks awesome. They'll do like these little baby characters, like cholos with a Charlie Brown shirt, Cortezes, and everything else. But when you look at the actual artwork carefully, the eyeball is maybe like, they may have like a lazy eye on it, or the ear may be smaller or bigger on the other side, or may have like 7 fingers, or the shoelaces aren't correct and all that stuff. And they'll leave it like that, thinking, okay, it's perfect. AI did it for me, but for me, I'll use it, but I'll go in and I'll clean up everything, which for me is like, it's a lot easier. This way, I don't have to sketch something out, ink it out, scan it onto my computer, put it on Photoshop, clean it, take it over to Illustrator, color it, and then bring it back to Photoshop and do all the stuff that I need to do for it, So now the AI thing, kind of like,
So how do we know now, though, that you say that? That's tricky, because like, how do we know now when people like real artistry and real designers opposed to someone just doing some AI stuff and putting their name on it, though? That's tricky right there.
It's hard. Yeah, it is tricky, but I mean, like with me, I already know who uses AI. It's real easy to find out. Right. Especially when I see certain things like that actually looks amazing, but then I'll go look at their page and see everything looks almost identical. Everything's identical. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's AI. You have your other artists that have these different styles. You can kind of see the line work. It's like you just pay attention to the details. Some stuff, like I said, may have there's a lady that just posted up some stuff on these mugs or on the tumblers, like a nice design, 2 women cholas,
right.
They have a car in the back and everything else, but all they had were 3 legs. One had 2 legs and one had 1. And it was like, where did the other one go? That's what happens. It's like you can't really see, or you can't really tell somebody, hey, you know what, AI is gonna come up with the closest thing to what you typed out,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think too?
But knowing that if you can.
Right. Because I do music, so it's like the same thing with music. This AI stuff is doing a lot, but if you're into music and you know certain things, that shit ain't real. Like once you listen, you'll hear, okay, that's some AI shit. So it's like, I think the people that know, just like you do graphics and you do all these things, like you said, so you will know, you will see something that someone else probably won't. Just the same with music, someone regular with an ear, because people have come to me, like even my brother, hey, did you know this and that? And I'm listening like, nah, that ain't official. You know what I mean? So some people won't.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are going to get fooled, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, though they are and shit. You know what I mean? It's like there's one drawing that somebody showed me. It was Fernando Valenzuela in a
Right.
Dodger uniform, but it was a mixing colors, and
Wow.
it looked clean as hell. You know, but I told it was a girl that drew it or showed it to him. You know, was selling it, and I said, "Hey, did you draw that?" She goes, "Yeah, I did." And then I went in there trying to do my research. No, it's an AI illustration. You know, it's like, man, okay, I see. She created it, I think, or I'm not sure what, but it wasn't her actual artwork. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you know what? That's fine.
But she thought she could tell you that and you wouldn't know because you know. But the most people she probably, and not nothing against her, but the most people she's probably telling her, but believe, oh wow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're a great artist, you
Yeah.
know. Which is yeah, you know. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, it's like in this industry, it's all about design work, artwork, who has the best thing, who has the newest thing, and all that stuff.
Right.
So if AI can help you out with that thing, it's just like I said, I won't buy anything, even if I think it's like created by AI but it looks good. I won't buy it because I'm like, you know what, it doesn't look good enough for me and shit. I'm real picky about my artwork.
Real shit. And that's taken away from real artists too. You know, I mean, this AI stuff, all good, but man, it's kind of
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it takes away a lot. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of controversy over it where people were saying, you know what, ban AI. It's all about the real artists and all that stuff and everything. So it's like, yeah, I get it. But even back then and shit, when I used to do some work, I remember doing some work for Baby Bash, and I had a few people take my image and they just put like a different text on it and were selling these shirts. Not giving us any credit, not even giving me any credit. Or hey, what about $1 a shirt at least? Nothing. It's the same thing and shit. But now those people that are doing the AI creating their own images, they see other people taking that image and selling it on the side, and they're getting mad because, hey, how come I'm not getting credit? That's my design. Hey, you
right,
know what? Look at the other designs you have. Those were other people's designs that you're not giving credit to either.
right. And
So
it's just like kind of like the bootlegging thing too. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But
yeah,
I think
exactly.
real people and real fans or real people that respect art, your stuff are gonna always support though. You know what I mean? Just like now, that's what we
Oh, yeah.
got. But like music is free, but people that really support the artists still support them in whatever they do.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I know I haven't really done too much with my artwork. I used to before, but I haven't really done too much. I tried to do an art show last year. It went good, but there was just too much going on that I wasn't really able to actually display what I was able to do. You know what I mean?
Right,
So this year I'm going to do another one on October 3rd. So I'm going to display some more artwork and actually collab with a few other artists that are actually artists that paint and everything else, and try to create something with that. And I'm
right,
collabing with another person called Polly's Projects, and trying to do something with his son where people can actually draw him and actually, show us, different styles that we can actually create him with.
right.
This is for like an autism project.
It's my art show. It's just that the proceeds for that art, for the artwork, are gonna go to Polly.
Okay. Oh, probably
So we're gonna have people. What happened?
Probably gonna be on our show in a few weeks, by the way.
Oh yeah. That's perfect.
Spoiler.
Yeah, Polly's a great man. He's a great person. He does a lot of stuff for the community. And I always try to help out whenever, with whatever I can. So with that right there, doing the artwork for that day, I'm gonna post up a little add-on or little flyer on the thing. Anybody that wants to draw, and I'm gonna put up a few pictures of Polly and say, draw this person in your style. Draw the Theo Weso in your style, and any of those right there are gonna be sold, and anything made out of those are gonna go towards Polly.
That's nice. That's awesome. His
That's
foundation is doing a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, one more thing. Since you mentioned artistry too, and people, you get new people and welcome them to like. What has been the change in that, far as artistry with old to new now and youngsters coming in the game? Are you seeing a change better, or like, what's your take on that?
Well, the digital game, I guess, for the artwork, it's a lot easier now because like with me now, I do digital work. It's a lot easier for me because before I used to just pencil stuff out, had to have, you cleaning it up by inking it out, erasing all the mistakes, putting it on the computer, scanning. Now you can actually draw it directly onto like Photoshop and Illustrator is what I use the most. Right. So if I want to sketch something now, I just sketch it out, So right. It's pretty good. Let me see real fast. Kind of show you what I'm actually working on something right now. Okay. So this right here, I sketched it out on the computer, So it's for the homie Rack City. So let's see. I'm not sure if you guys can see it right there.
Let me see.
So this right here was sketched out. So you can tell it's sketched out because of the coloring, all the color that was supposed to go on it. So you see it right there. So it's all it's black and white, and then just adding the color to it, adding the color, and doing all that stuff to it, So it's something different that I'm doing too. But so it's like, it's a lot easier now, a lot easier. But I've been seeing a lot of people, youngsters, like 15, 16 years old, that, man, the detail that they put into their artwork now because of this, right? Because you got your different brushes, you got filters and whatever it is that you can actually add to this stuff and everything. And man, it comes out amazing. I'm still old school. I still do just plain colors, I can't, I'm still trying to figure out the filters, all the other stuff, the brushes. It's a little harder, but you know what? I still keep doing my own thing where, I just have to look at the picture and add my shadows, my highlights, and all that other stuff and everything, But nowadays, man, youngsters are killing it in the industry with artwork, because I'm not sure if you know all the video games that are going out from, Warcraft, from the, what's that one? The theft one, Grand Theft Auto 2. The artwork out of those, men, are amazing. They get into details that I'm like, shit, how did he do this? I'm still, like I said, I keep it more simple and everything else, because it's just line work and everything. But I try to keep it more into the comic book style. I've always been a fan of the comic book from the Spawns, the Spider-Man, artwork and everything else, where they ink everything out and then just add the color in the backgrounds. So that's always been my style.
Right. But the youngsters, man, I agree, they're killing it with this, because the technology and they were early on all of this. So everything going on right now, the youngsters are really killing it. You know what I mean? So salute to them.
So I wanted to talk to you about, so each of us have our niche in this industry, me, you, G-Lew. And there's always something that has gone under my skin so bad when you look up to a particular person and you realize that they're not what you think they are. So when it comes to art, like I have an example. So there is a particular designer that I look up to. I've looked up to her for years. And she does design, but she designs for celebrities. But her stuff that she sells comes from other countries. And I just found this out. So what do you feel? Let's go back to AI. What do you feel that AI and just kind of bootleg art in general has done to take away from the craft of art itself?
Well, there was this homie that just got some artwork from this one guy. He posted it up, dope thing. It was just amazing how it was. It was like a skeleton, cholo with a car in the back, has the name of the person, artist, and everything else. And I seen the guy's old artwork, and I'm like, man, that's. I'm not sure if it, if he got good after a year or whatever it is, but I know that artwork that he showed up. I mean, I can tell it was AI, because you can see the fingers were kind of like messed up. The laces were kind of messed up. The design to it, the details, it's all jacked up, So, but like we were saying earlier, some people aren't going to realize that that's AI artwork. You know what I mean? They're going to think, oh, this guy's real talented, and just, oh, well, you can't really tell. You can't tell this. You can't tell this. Not that people go into that detail, Because like with mine, the character I have right now, you'll be able to see the shoelaces. I make sure that they're clean. I make sure the creases on the pants, everything, the shadow and all that stuff. The detail is, is perfect. So when people do see it, if they're gonna criticize it, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, you know what? it could have been done better, whatever it is, but I know it's gonna be minor stuff. But when I see other people do the AI thing and just, oh, here, this is what I just did for you and everything else, I'll charge you $100, $150. I'm like, shit, really? And they start using it, and I'm like, man, people are like, oh, this guy's amazing, this guy's dope, he does his artwork fast. I'm like, yeah, AI does it for you for like within 5 minutes, you know. But again, it's like people are gonna
That's
like certain things.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own flavor, you know.
That's why I said that shit is scary,
So people are
man.
gonna, oh yeah, you know, people are gonna love, you know. Like I said, I have people that have hit me up for artwork constantly. Like the homie I've done Kiki Smooth. I've done I think like about 4 of his CD covers, you know. End up is a guy that does nationwide. I've done about like maybe 6 or 7 of his stuff, you know. I got Baby Bash back in the day. I did a lot of his things, you know, and so on and so on. I just little by little I've been creating, you know, covers, but now I've been creating a lot of logos for a lot of other people now. People want logos for their designs or for their clothing line or whatever it is and all that stuff. So I give them original lettering, you know, because I do calligraphy as well. I do I used to do, you know, graffiti back in the day. So I combine everything together to give them something that nobody else is gonna take from them and say, you know what, that's an original. Nobody can steal that from you and all that stuff. If they do, then it's copyrighted. You know what I mean? You can actually sue them because that's original artwork and all that stuff. But those right there, the AI thing, the AI thing is I think anybody can use those images that you have, because if it's an app, the app holds it and it'll display it. You know what I mean? And it'll say right there who made it at that moment and all that stuff. But I think anybody can take that artwork that anybody else creates and use it for whatever they want. Right. You know, so it's not really copyrighted for that one person. But on my end, you know, everything's original. So you're getting original artwork from me.
What do you recommend to like a younger person who's trying to get into the industry as an artist themselves or a graphic artist? Where would they start?
The same way that, you know, I was saying earlier, you know, just create some. Everything has to be free in the beginning. You have to create something free for somebody to actually acknowledge it and actually want to use it. You know, because everybody nowadays, they don't want to pay for something when they can get it for free on AI, you know, especially now, you know. But that's always been something from the beginning since I started, you know. It's like I've always done the first art piece for anybody for free, you know. And then at that point, I start creating more stuff. I'll create like maybe after the guy agrees to do something with me, I'll create 3 more designs for them and everything. I'll go up to, hey, what do you think of these? And they'll start looking at, oh, I love these. I love it. Hey, let's work with all 3 of them, or let's do this. That's exactly what I did with Danny Trejo. The first design I did for him was it's like a Superman design where he's opening up his chest, like his shirt, but it's a tattoo that he has instead of a Superman logo. So he's doing this and everything, and it's like it's just the tattoo he has of the charra. Mm-hmm. So once he saw that one right there, he started using that crazy, and then I started creating some more designs for him. And then now online, he has, I think right now he's using 3 of them. And then I think I created like about 12 designs for him, you know. And then we're gonna start working with those right there later on in the future.
That's pretty dope.
So just basically just giving the people like, you know what, I got this art piece for you, and then kind of go from there. You know, I want to work with you. This is my style. Give them that first design for free. That's the best way of doing it, you know. And like I tell everybody tells me, hey, why are you giving away your secret? And you know how many people there is out there that you can work with? There's thousands and thousands of people, especially rappers, artists, anybody and shit. You know, I can't work with everybody, you know. So hey, give the tips out to everybody. Make sure that they, you know, if they really want to be in this industry, you got to push, you know, at the events that we go to all the time, the events I see you at, you know, all those artists, all those influencers, you know, everybody they want to work with people. They want to collab. If it's a design, if it's something or whatever it is, if you want to work with them, hey, I have this design for you, you know, can we work together? Can we do this together? Can we do that? Can we do this? And believe me, everybody, you'll get more yeses than nos. That's for sure.
That's true. And in the industry that we're in, it tends to be like one big family. Like everybody knows everybody. You see the same people at the same events over and over and over. So you can build also that way.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and
Now, I was going to ask you briefly too to add on to that for youngsters or someone who may be looking to get into the business. Where do you or how do you draw the line? Also, once, like you say, you network and give some things out for free, but once you become in demand, or once, like you said, people do want to work with you, how does one go about knowing their worth? You know what I mean, and what to do and how to charge people without being like, so, because a lot of people like want to say, "Oh, this is a celebrity," so I just want to keep, So sometimes you overdo it and don't compensate yourself. So how does one go about knowing their worth when they're dealing with these things too, as
Yeah.
time goes on?
Well, okay, yeah, that is a hard one. That really is a hard one and everything. But the thing is that if you really want to work in this industry, it's a cutthroat industry. Okay, it's hard because believe me, even if you're an artist like with me, I will usually work with certain people, and I'll give them one for free, and then the rest of them, you have to give them a good deal because believe me, if you're not giving them a deal, somebody else is going to give them a better deal than you. Somebody's
Right.
going to say, like with me, back in the day before the whole recession, my price was high. It was super high. I think the minimum I charged was $500, and that was just for a plain design for like promotional stuff and everything else. When I worked
Right.
with the Wango Tango event, I was charging a lot of money just for design work, artwork, and what have you.
Mhm.
The thing is, if you really want to work with these people, if you really want to work, like say with YG, if you want to work with a YG, you're gonna have to give him some artwork, but you're gonna have to constantly give him, like, okay, he'll buy one off you, but then you're gonna have to give him another one for free, and then he'll buy another one off you, and keep on giving him another one for free or two for free or whatever it is. But you have to remember that's only one artist. Okay, you're gonna
Right.
have another artist that you're gonna be doing the same thing with, and so on and so on and so on. Once they see that you have about like a lineup of people that you work with, like say 10, 12, maybe 20 or whatever it is, then your value starts going up. Anybody that's not a part of that excuse me, anybody that's not a part of that little circle, of the of say, of the YG or the Baby Bash, Be Real, whatever it is, and all that stuff. People that are really starting up, those people sometimes tend to spend money on trying to get their image out there. So once they start moving up, they see, okay, you know what? I'll pay you 150, I'll pay you 75, and whatever it is, and all that stuff. Your value is only going to be how much you really want to be in the industry. It's like, okay,
Right.
it's either from $50 to $500, but you got to remember the $500 price, and the price that you're giving out there, you're only going to get like maybe a few people out of that, maybe one or two people that can
Right.
afford it. But
Right.
then you got the other people that you can actually do a lot more and get more money out of it, get paid more,
The
be
long run.
consistent with just financially. You got to charge 150, $50, and so on and so on. But you also pick and choose who you're going to charge, a high amount, and who you're going to charge a small amount to.
Right. I get it, and that makes sense. And also, even when you have the celebrities, like you say, you may give them a gang of shit free or this low price, but once they work with you and respect you, they're gonna start just paying you anyway. I'm sure, like extra or just like here, you
That
know.
too, but you also have to remember they're free promo too, because say like Be Real, okay? Be Real is one person that he's a big name. People know him in the weed industry. People know. So I'll do designs for him. There's a design I did for him that he loved. So you know what? I give him that design. Say, hey, use it. I'll create little knickknacks for him and everything else. He'll post it up. He'll do whatever it is and all that stuff. But guess what?
Right.
That's free promo for me. Anybody else that wants a promo for him, guess what? It's going to be 500, 1,000,
Right.
1,500, or whatever it is. I'm getting it for free because I'm giving them something out of it. So we're really getting, we're exchanging stuff with each other. He's giving me free promo, and I'm giving him design.
Right.
So it's just like that. So people have to understand, even if you don't charge one person, because the one person that I will never charge at all anymore is Baby Bash. I'll do designs for him, like, hey, here's another one, here's this one, here's this one, here's this one, because this guy is more like family to me. But he will talk great about me. If somebody says, hey, will you work with Articulate? Will you work with Marker? And he'll straight up tell him, yeah, go ahead, work with him. He's a good designer. He's a good designer. So you'll get that, the word of mouth from the people that you work with. So then
Right.
you'll be able to get, just be consistent with your work. And you'll keep
Right.
on getting checks. You'll keep on getting whatever it is. But of course, you'll be working for free for some people at times. But if you know how to work the business, then you're always going to be getting a check every week.
That part. And I always notice you mention Baby Bash. Like earlier when I asked you some of the favorite artists, I always hear you mention him. So you guys must have a real connection, man. So shout out to Baby Bash.
Oh yeah, Baby Bash. Like I said, he's the one that brought me into the industry. He's the first person I started working with, and he's the one where back in the day before the recession, man, I used his name to get in everywhere. I started working with a bunch of people because of him. I got into Kiss FM because of Baby Bash. And then from Baby Bash, being in Kiss FM, it was ODM from Light Shader Brown. So I've known these two guys for almost 18 years, in the industry and everything else. I've done designs for them, and they got me into to a position where, I use that to further my career up, So from there, I worked with Cat Williams. I've done designs for Chris Brown. I've worked with Paul Wall. I've done stuff for Noel G. I've done like I said, I have a whole list of everybody that I've worked with. It just keeps on going and going and going, And still nowadays, I'm still getting new artists and so on and so on.
Wow,
you as you're speaking and you're hearing all these names that you're listing with your resume being so extensive, do you ever sit back and take the time and realize how far you've come?
I do once in a while, to try to, because I try to humble myself as much as I can, because right now, it's like there's so many people out there trying to do stuff. They're trying to do this and that. I'll go to an event and they have their VIP section. I've been to every event that I've ever gone to, I've been able to go backstage, VIP, and what have you, and everything else. But then, I don't stay back there to kind of see, I've done this already. So now let me go outside and just hang out with the people that are enjoying the shows and all that. You know what I mean? But I see everything that I've done, and people aren't going to know what I've done unless they're real close to me and I've talked to you about it, But other people, they just think that, oh, yeah, I'm just a Theo Weso guy, oh, he's just a Theo Weso guy. Not that people know that I've worked in the industry so many years, that I've done everything. I've done, I've been to one of the spots I've been to was a Playboy Mansion. This is back in like 2008, and I was like, man, I'm here at the Playboy Mansion. I was like invited by one of the playmates, Kendra Wilkinson. And I'm like, shit, okay, I came in there and I was like, I love this. I went to so many parties back in the day and all that stuff. Nowadays, I still go to them, but I'm like more like an introvert. It's like, I don't really want to go or whatever it is. I go to the concerts because I'm trying to, get more clients out of it. I try to network and all that stuff, but I don't really do all the partying anymore.
It's not the same. Man, you were at the Playboy Mansion when it was still cracking, huh? 2008?
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I can imagine.
It was then, and then it was the Playboy Mansion and then the Penthouse. The Penthouse magazine too, or Hustler too. Wow. It was like, man, those parties were crazy.
Wow. You probably got to write a book before it's over too. You might have to write a book, bro, or do a documentary too, because I know you got a lot of stories over the years, man.
And for so many people that I worked with and all that stuff, I mean, it's crazy, but it's always been hard, because back in the day I was married, so it was a little harder to do a lot of stuff because of course you get into arguments. Why are you going to here? Why are you going there? Why are you going, out of state for and this and that? Because I used to go out of state with Baby Bash a lot, and then I just kind of stopped because it kind of, it's just too much. Nowadays I'm single, so it's like, I get to do more. But now that I'm single, I don't do as much, but I do work a lot more. I get to go to a lot more places. I get to stay out more and do whatever it is that I want.
Right. That's what's up.
I mean, in that sense, that is very true when you're in a relationship or in a marriage with someone and you're in an industry where you have to do a lot of traveling. I would say it's probably best to have partnerships in the industry because they understand.
Sometimes they do, but yeah, it's hard to find that one, So that's why right now I'm like, what, still searching, but it's like, it's hard, especially with the Theo Weso thing, because when you see him out there and everything else, he's like everybody says, "Oh, he's the ladies' man." He's look at all the pictures with all the women and so on, so on, and so on. It's kind of hard because I'm playing a character, but once that mask comes off, that character is gone. You know, it's like I'm not doing any of that. I'm just chilling. I'm at home working, and that's about it. You know, but when I'm Theo Weso, it's hard. That's another character that I have two things that I work with. You know, the artwork, which I work with the artist, and Theo Weso that works with all the people. You know. So it's two different things. I have to combine together if somebody wants to actually be with me. They're gonna have to actually see and know what I do.
Does one help with the other part of your career, or are they two separate entities that you just flourish with?
Well, Theo Weso helps out my artwork, you know, because I do. I'm coming up with a T-shirt line coming soon, and because of Theo Weso, I'm able to actually push it out there more. You know, as me, if it was just me, it'd be harder to actually push out my brands. You know, Theo Weso's helping me out with the whole promo. You know, like of what it is and all that stuff. Because the women will actually do more for him than they will do for me.
But congratulations on all of your success. I see this man so much, and I'm just like, oh hey, and I'll go hug him. Like I didn't realize the extent of your career and how luxurious it really is. Congratulations to you on all your success over the years.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, it's hard, and when people see me, they just think like, what is this guy doing backstage? Who's this guy? Not because of the Theo Weso, they think it's the Theo Weso that gets me to the backstages.
Right. When it's in all actuality, your 25-year career.
Yeah, so many people that I've known throughout the years and everything else, like especially with Tierra, you've been to the events with Tierra, I get to perform with them a lot, and that's just something like, who can actually say that, you perform with people from back in the day, I performed with, Bone Thugs, with Cypress Hill, well, I haven't performed with Cypress Hill, but I've done work with them and shit, and then so many people from Kid Frost. I remember when his first song came out, La Raza, it was like, shit, now to say, what, I've actually done, I've actually performed with this cat and shit on stage and so on and so on, it's just crazy.
No, it's a surreal feeling when you're in the industry and you get to kind of like work with some of your idols,
Oh yeah, and the good thing is that not that I think there's only been a few people that have gotten disappointed. Like, man, you're a dick, It's like I've only had a few of those, but everybody else have been amazing. They've been awesome when they see me. Oh hey, how's it going? They show me respect. I show them respect, and so on, which is good.
So, did you have any more questions for him, G-Lew?
No, I didn't. I'm just like I'm like you. Like thank you for sharing a lot with us, because it's so much more than the character. You know what I mean? Of Theo Weso. Like even me, I learned a lot tonight about you, man. And you got a lot, man. You got a lot going on. You have an incredible story and history. You know what I mean, in this game. And I think you have the knowledge and the education that can help so many probably youngsters who are trying to get in this game and do what they do, because like we said earlier, the youngsters do have a niche and they can do everything, but they might not know what to do, the right things to do, you know what I mean, when you get into this industry, because so many people are just so hungry and thirsty to get in that they may skip a lot of the parts they need to know. So I think this is great for you tonight to share your story with us, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it,
So where can we find you on social media so people can follow your journey?
Okay, so I have two accounts that I work with. I work with the Theo Weso, of course, which is TIO_WESO. You'll find me there if you want to see the character. If you want to see the artwork, it's Articulate, ARTIKULATE 77.
Any TikToks, Facebooks, anything like that?
What happened?
Any TikToks or Facebooks or anything like that where you want to be followed?
They're both the same. So if you go through Theo Weso, the same way it's spelled, and Articulate 77, the same way it's spelled. So it goes on both TikTok and IG. So those are the only two that I actually use right now.
And for people to book you, they go through those same channels as well.
Yeah, either one. Most
Okay.
likely the Weso one. If anybody wants to book me on that and everything else. Yeah, but just so everybody knows and all that stuff, if anybody wants to see it, I get booked for everything and anything. So they've got me for weddings, for quinceañeras, for birthday parties, for any type of event, any grand openings, all that stuff. And I'll do stuff from here all the way to Texas. Texas is the farthest I've ever gone, and up north I've gone all the way up to Fresno.
And then when you do your pricing, you explain that out to the client. Like there's not like a website or anything where you okay.
Yeah, because it all depends on whatever it is, that stuff. So yeah, pricing is different every time.
Okay. That's Thank you so much for coming on. You're amazing.
No, of course. Yeah, you guys were amazing too right here. I appreciate this. Had some fun right now. It's been 2 years since I've done my last interview, so this was good.
So we truly appreciate you for choosing us.
Yes, thank you, brother.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thank you, man.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, amazing.
So that's it. There's Theo Weso, guys.
Yo, Weso.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you so much.
That's the man right there, y'all. Yep. Thank you, sir. Deandra, what? So he's out of here. So he's gone. Thank you, Theo Weso, man. That was incredible, man. Like, again, educational. I love to learn things and meet great people. You know what I mean? So he was no exception. Every week is just every week we have something different. Like I know people don't know what to expect. Sometimes I don't, but every week, every guest we have is like a different level, and we learn more and get to know people, you know what I mean, personally, you know what I mean? And this was no different. So shout out to the homie Theo Weso. Shout out to Deandra for making it happen. You know what I mean? Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you.
It's crazy. You learn so much, like when you book guests on. Like a lot of the people, obviously, that have been on, I know on a personal level, but don't really get to know them until you let them sit down and tell their story. And some of the things that we've heard on this show is incredible. Like I knew that he was a graphic designer, but I didn't know to what extent. Right. So I figured that his story would be an interesting one to be told.
And it was. Great guy too, man. That was dope. So what we got coming up like next week, Deandra?
No surprise.
Okay. Thank you, Big D. We got a surprise guest next week. So, I got a birdie already in my ear, but it's gonna be a surprise. So just make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place. We're gonna have a surprise guest, and I'm telling you guys are gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna wanna be right here. So make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place. I'm G-Lew. That's the beautiful Deandra Chanel.
All right, until next week, you guys.
Barato. Peace. Everyone. We out of here. Peace. Have a great week. We out.